Hello friends and gamers, my name is Jinx and welcome to Operation Hats. This is July 1939, the German 7th turn. Before we get started, I'd like to say thank you to people who put out comments and put out likes on my videos. I really do appreciate it, guys. I know I don't respond too much to this kind of thing. Lately I've just been pretty busy with other things, but I do read everything and I do appreciate it very much. I know it's not the most interesting thing to watch Tabletop Simulator, but my hope is the next game I play is going to be with a map and miniatures, and it'll be much more interesting to all parties involved. So thanks all for your watching, and let's get started with the German turn review for the previous turn. So, on the previous turn, Germany went to war, and it declared war on France, among all other people. It had a 4 medium armor stacked here in Western Germany, and they blitzed into Picardy. At the same time, we railed some units for infantry to southern France, and so in the second battle sequence for the Lightning War, they pushed their armor through Normandy into Aquitaine as well as south into Alsace-Lorraine, and this infantry supported those two attacks and ultimately were able to surround Paris and force France to surrender. The battle in Aquitaine was a little bit busier. I think we lost about 5 or 6 units in total in the attack against France, and yeah, at the end of the day, that's not a bad casualty list for taking out France. Davic successfully managed to preserve a large portion of his French forces by taking out Abyssinia from the Italians and preserving a sizable portion of their medium armor, anti-aircraft gun, and I think something like 5 or 6 infantry. So quite a nice portion of troops preserved there. So well done, Davic. So that's what happened over there. Germany also went to war against Yugoslavia, taking out both those territories. It aligned Romania, took out Poland or portions of Poland, and took out Denmark as well. So quite a busy turn for them, taking out a lot of their opponents. We signed the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact with the Russians on condition that they allow us to align and keep Bessarabia. So it was one of those things that we aligned Romania first, giving them a dice 12 income increase, but on condition they allow us to keep Bessarabia. So that's kind of the deal we struck there. And yeah, let's see if we keep it. Otherwise than that, nothing much else going on. A couple of movements in the naval zones, and we also picked up Syria so that we can align Iraq with our airborne unit. We dropped off. We flew out here and dropped out a fellow in Syria. So that's what happened on the German turn. The Russians, for their part, moved some units to western Ukraine, putting some pressure on eastern Poland, and then from Leningrad and the Karelia area, they launched a major attack into Finland and pushing in and capturing 3 territories there, with only Helsinki surviving. So kind of a busy turn for them up there. And then in the south, they marched into Iran, taking out these 2 northernmost regions. So a nice turn for them for sure. In the eastern portions of Soviet territory, there's not too much going on, just 4 units here in Chita. That's about it. The Japanese, for their part, are keep on building up troops in anticipation of eventually taking out the KMT forces. There's a trading of territories back and forth in Szechuan and Shantung. The KMT launched several attacks into Shantung. This turn, the Japanese launched an attack into Yunnan that were beaten back by the KMT forces. And so they did quite well, the KMT did. And I think the Japanese lost the bulk of their forces and were only reinforced at the end of the turn with a couple dudes there. So pretty busy turn for the Japanese, and maybe they need a turn or two to restock their forces. Other than that, they've been holding on to their territories worth of any value, and so that's quite good. It's putting money in the bank quite a bit. And the KMT, for their part, launched attacks, but are forced to retreat quite a bit with a lot of their forces. So right now, Shantung, they launched their attack there with infantry cavalry, lost the cavalry, were forced to retreat with the infantry. So it's unfortunate, the attack weakness, but that's what it is. The Anzac, I think, have been doing the bulk of the Lend-Lease to the KMT and the Chinese peoples, and maybe even to France for that matter. So not too many changes here. The British FVC building up a massive force in Calcutta with 16 units there, 4 units in British Malaya. Other than that, it's kind of quiet on this front as they just building up forces. Probably because in the other operations in the tournament here, in the other 3 games, Calcutta fell pretty quickly. So this one's going to have a huge stack of forces sitting in that region. The French, for their part, are shoring up their position in Abyssinia. There's now a railway connecting the coastline to Abyssinia, so they can get some Lend-Lease coming in that way. They also captured Italian Somaliland from the Italians, so they're doing well for themselves there, pulling in a few bucks of income. I think they were about $4 of income a turn, so that's not a bad deal there, considering how much they lost. The French have, I should mention that the Free French acquired the Far East, like the French Far East there, Indochina, as well as the east portion of Africa and Madagascar. But everything else, like all of Africa and a bunch of the money-making regions, went to Vichy. Of course, we have Free French here and Free French up here. But the bulk, I think it was like $4 of income for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4 bucks of income for Vichy and 4 bucks for France. So an even amount of forces. Unfortunately for Davik, he was rolling for all these ones, but unfortunately for Davik, the Germans managed to acquire 2 battleships out of the deal, and the Vichy French, so 1 battleship in the production queue, 1 went to Germany directly, and 1 to the Vichy. So it was kind of unfortunate. We got 2 units out of the deal there as the Axis. The Vichy got 3, and the Free French kept 2, a torpedo boat destroyer and a destroyer. So quite unfavorable in that regards. But other than that, the French are doing quite well over here in this territory. Very well for themselves. The Commonwealth, for that matter, or the British rather, in the Mediterranean, they have a huge force there. I think they have something like 16 units here, plus a couple more that can scramble. I can't remember exactly. So they chased the Italians out of the Mediterranean, and now the Italians sit in the Red Sea. So they lived to fight another day, but they had to cede some territory to the British in fear for their lives. Something like that. So they withdrew out there. Hopefully we can come back at some later date. But yeah, the British have been stocking up in anticipation for perhaps a push into the Mediterranean, maybe a push into the Italian peninsula. Definitely Gibraltar is stacked up to the gills with all kinds of units here as well. An airborne, a transport plane. Things are looking pretty good for them over there. And as well in the British Islands, where there's 3 fighters there plus a seaplane, things are looking okay for the British so far, with nothing being able to hit the British in their home islands. So that's essentially it. The Americans, for their part, I think have been doing a bunch with Lend-Lease as well. Apart from that, I haven't seen too many changes in their home territory. Maybe they've been building up their forces in factories, rather. They've been building up their factories, perhaps, but nothing too much else has been going on for them as far as I know. Lastly, I guess I should talk about the Italians. The Italians, like I said, they captured Western Egypt, and they captured Madagascar from under the hands of the Free French. But apart from that, they had to do a general withdrawal into the Red Sea. So that's the situation for them. So turning our attention to the German number 7th turn. Let's start with our production, which is up here in this neck of the woods. Now we have 65 bucks to spend, but it goes very fast. I'm actually not building that many units. I have 2 strat bombers, making 24. We have 1 transport here for 7, bringing up to 31. 1 transport for the Italians, bringing up to 38. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry, one of them being a Vichy French infantry. That brings us up to a total of 50. And then a Marine, that's worth 4 bucks. We have sub base, that's worth 3. And then we have an airfield that started, worth 3 as well. Lastly, we have the Deutsches Afrika Korps, worth 5 bucks being built as well. So a sizable amount of money disappears fairly quickly with only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Technically, you don't even count this blue division. So it's really, not that many units being put on the table. But hopefully it pays in dividends later on. All right. So that's the situation. Let's start with some combat moves, starting with this theater over here. The British battle cruiser moves from P60 to P62 to do some raiding there. I'm going to delete these little markers here for income. Well, I'll leave 1 hanging around here just in case. And in P50 we have a submarine doing some raiding as well. From Lower Egypt we have a seaplane coming into I4 and a submarine coming in from M4 all the way to I4 as well to do some raiding there as well of this convoy line. And in Switzerland we're going to engage them in combat with 3 units coming in from Alsace-Lorraine, cavalry, airborne infantry, a light tank from Paris, and I have 3 fighters coming in from various places. Northern Italy, tactical 2 fighters, Romania 1 fighter, and from Bavaria 1 fighter, 1 medium bomber into Switzerland, hoping to take them out for a little extra bucks. Now we have probably overkill in regards to aircraft, but we don't have anything really else to do with those units this turn. Now going into our Navy here on the Atlantic side, a German submarine is going to swing over to A20. We're going to convoy raid in A18 as well. And from A18 to A35, a submarine is going to raid that sea zone as well. So a few different zones are getting raided. And that's it. Let's start with our rolls here with the battle cruiser and see if we can take out something from the Anzac. We're going to be rolling. Germany has the red dice. Our opponents will have the other dice. And we didn't get anything with our battle cruiser. Let's see if we get something with our submarine off the coast of British Malaya. We did get something there. That's 4 in total. So we did max up this convoy line. Both of them, rather. This is where all of them intersect. So we're going to go 2 and 3. So that's all maxed out. Turning our attention to the Gulf of Aden, we have a submarine there. This one we could only really do $1 as maximum damage, and that's maxed out, so our seaplane didn't even need to roll. Okay, that's one's done. Turning our attention over here to Sea Zone A35, we'll roll for all 3 of these. Okay, so 5, 6, minus 1, 5. We did that one for 5 damage in A35. Now one off the coast of Canada. So 3, 4, 5, minus 2, that's $3 there of damage that we did against the enemy. $3 so far, so 5 and 3. And this is the last one we have there with nothing. So not horrible for these guys. I think I could safely delete this stack. I do believe. I think we took it off for the Italians. I don't know. This is what the Italians scored last turn. $6. So I don't know if that gets taken off the British right away now or not. I'm going to leave it there temporarily. Because that's what the Italians just scored this past turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think it was 1, 2 over here. So what's that? 5, 6, 7, $8 taken away from the Brits, 1 from the FEC, and 2 from the Anzac. So not too bad. 8, 9, 10, 11. $11. Not too shabby. All right. Now we go to this combat here. Like I said, that's going to be 4 fighters. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have a tactical going in as well. That will be the steel dice, and we're going to use this orange for our medium bomber. Come on. Orange for our medium bomber. Hoping to score a few hits here right off the start. 2 hits only. That's not great, but whatever, we'll take it. 2 hits. Not too bad. And then we have our land forces coming in. That's, well, you know what? Let's keep our tanks separate too, just in case I made a mistake and the tank can't actually run. I might not be able to move. Well, I think I could move all the way there from the city, but, you know, I used to be really good at this game, but now I just don't have time to read the rules. So blue one will be tank. 1 hit, so 3 hits in total against the enemy, meaning that 1 of their units survive. Now they, on the other hand, have 1, 2, 3 there, 3 mountain infantry at 5, and 1 militia at 2. Okay, the militia misses. This one hit, and these 2 missed. Okay. Alright, so we're going to keep 1 green dice because we hit them 3 times. And on our end, we're going to take off one of our... Let's take off our regular infantry. So we're going to roll for the air again. 1, 2 hits. 3 hits. Alright. And our enemy rolls. And they hit us twice. So I'm going to take off our airborne and our regular infantry. Take off all their stuff. Now, that's not a great exchange of resources, considering it's only worth $1. It'll take us a while to earn that back. $6 worth of resources, right? But nonetheless, it gives us some... I think I like it. I like it. All right, now we go to the non-combat. Non-combat, eh? Okay, starting on this end. We're going to send this German mechanized out to Königsberg, just to secure that area. 1 infantry is going to go to West Poland, so that takes care of those puppies. Just to clear some of this markers on the map here. We're going to send this cavalry out to Western Yugoslavia, and these 2 cavalry in Eastern Yugoslavia are going to come to Northern Italy. Alright, now let's land our aircraft. Actually, let's take care of this. Infantry from Berlin to Bavaria, militia from Bavaria to Berlin. These 2 infantry, Blue Division regular infantry from Berlin to Western Germany, and the same thing from those guys to Belgium. 2 mechanized are going to come across to Belgium. And then I have a torpedo boat destroyer coming into port into A17 as well, or A11 as well. I think that basically takes care of all these. Let me scratch some of this off. Good. Good. Okay, our aircraft. I wanted to keep this a little bit separately. But our aircraft goes 1, 2, 3. I suppose it could land up here. And then these aircraft could happily go back there. Let's see. 1 to here. And this medium bomber is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and go to Lower Egypt. I think that's a good spot for it. This fighters went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonna go over there. And I think we could erase all this now. It gets rid of all this mess. Oh yeah, this navy here. Transport's gonna go into port over here. I'm gonna just copy this clone here. So as a transport from the Tyrrhenian Sea, gonna go into Western Yugoslavia, that port. Likewise, these two ships here, destroyer, torpedo boat destroyer, in port there as well. I have a transport plane gonna fly over to northern Italy from Lower Egypt. I think that about takes care of those guys. Erasing some details here. Okay. While we're looking here at this ship, I'm going to move this seaplane out to Madagascar. Land in that region. Okay. I know I don't need to erase this just yet, but I wanted to clean it up a little bit to decide so I can see more clearly what I ought to do here. Okay. Aircraft has landed. Excellent. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Now we go to our other movements that we have here. All right, so we're going to rail some units around now. From Warsaw out to Normandy, 1 unit. From Bessarabia out to Aquitaine, 1 unit. We have 2 more rails to do. We're going to send German AA and an infantry out to Western Yugoslavia, leaving the situation as we see it here. Now, we're going to send some units to the Deutsches Afrika Korps, so we need to line them up. So I'm going to grab some units here. Motorized. I'm going to grab these units here. Oh, I need to delete these too. And all these units for the Deutsches Afrika Korps are going to land up in Tobruk, I think. What else? These 2 artillery. It doesn't cost any rail to do so. These units as well. That's it. That's all that we are sending across. So we need to roll for each unit. In this case, I'm going to grab a dice from down here. And we'll roll it individually. Now, on a roll of 1 or 2, then it's intercepted and sunk. So let's start with motorized. Let's start with the 3 infantry. 1, 2. Oh, 1 guy down. 3. Now, artillery. Another artillery. Medium armor. And light armor. So only 1 infantry down. The rest of them arrive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, below odds. I should have lost 2 units about. But oh well. Hey, good for us, I suppose. So these guys are all in Tobruk. I should grab a task force marker for that. Here's Group A. Now, the benefit of the Deutsches Afrika Korps is that they don't actually suffer any desert penalties, which is only effective in attack, and I guess in movements as well, so that's kind of nice. They all go over here. All right, so that takes care of those guys. Okay. Oh, you know what? I also forgot 2 things. One of them being this, that we get to align northern and southern Iraq, meaning that these units become ours as well. And because of that, I'm going to move one unit from northern Iraq to Syria. All right. Medium bombers here, yeah. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the situation there for everything. Good stuff. All right. I can't think of anything else that needs to be done at this moment. Yeah. All right. So we're going to align some territories here. We're going to align Hungary, so that's going to become ours. And I suppose, unless I'm very much mistaken, we can actually move those units right away. So we're going to clone a fighter here. We can go 1, 2, 3. And these units here, we're just going to, suppose we're going to move them this way to central Romania. Kind of shore up that position a little bit. Transport plane there, yes. I think it's all looking pretty good for where we have it. There is one thing I'm missing, but I don't know what it is right now. So let's leave it at that. Let's go into the place. Actually, you know what? We could adjust our income. So our income went up by $2 here, 3, 4, $5 in total. I know it's not quite what we need. $5 over there. And we also get a bonus. Maybe I shouldn't do that. So a few bonuses. Oh, wrong one. I already put it on the right spot. There it is. Okay. All right. We also are going to play the Vichy here. They're going to come over to the Mediterranean line. This position here. And just hang out there, I think. I think that's a good spot. And our fighter is going to fly across to northern Algeria. Cool. All right, I'm going to grab our stuff over here and put them on the board. We paid for this Deutsches Afrika Korps. Let's grab all this and bring it a little bit. Oops, let's grab a bit more and bring it a little bit closer. Somewhere here. Okay, the blue division goes in Berlin. Gonna build an infantry in Paris. Gonna give the Vichy their 1 infantry here. We're going to build a transport and put import right there. We have 2 airborne. 1, 2. And they're going to go with the 2 strap bombers here as well. Perhaps I should put this all on a thingy here. There we have it. I'll leave those there. A Marine can come up here as well. That makes 5 units built in this area. Is it 5? Might actually be less than that due to this situation here. What did I build? 2 strategic bombers. You know what? I don't think I need to be connected to I don't think I need to have a factory present right immediately there. I think it could be adjacent. It could be off of any factory. So I think I can build those 5 units here, and the transport is built off of, say, the Berlin factory or something. I think that is totally legit. And we could send our Lend-Lease coming in from home waters, cruising through here, bypassing that, coming around this way, screw this way, all the way. I think it could end up in port over there. That's one thing I wanted to do different. Okay, so the air forces. Yes, that's what. I'm gonna make one slight change. Torpedo boat destroyer. See, that's one thing I was gonna ask about. If I put my aircraft into northern Italy, I think I can scramble to the enemy. So I'm gonna put 2 fighters in northern Italy and leave them there, I think. That leaves me with 1, 2, 3 fighters left over. I think that's plenty good. Is it plenty good? See, my fear is that, you know what? I could actually drop it off. Can I drop it off there? My fear is that the enemy is gonna bomb me in this position there. Let me look it up quick because I want to familiarize myself with the rules, and perhaps it's not best to do this on camera, but yeah, my apologies. I don't have a great memory for this stuff. Okay, import. Cruiser, facility is damaged, ports are protected, anti-aircraft facility. Attacking aircraft and defending fighters and ships in port. Ships defend at 0. Carrying port attacks. Velanzo. You know what? I think it does work. I think it does work that we can defend in port. And with that in mind, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With that in mind, we are going to leave these 2 fighters present here. I think that works. If I'm not mistaken, I think that works. Yeah. All right. All right, we'll leave it at that. And maybe that will preserve our Italian transports here. Unless there's a different place we can go. Not really. Lazio maybe. Anyways, we'll leave it at that. Okay, good stuff. Collect income phase here, and also, so we have 50 bucks. That's 56, 57, 58, 58 plus 5. 50, all right, hold on, let's do the other way. 63. Is that correct? 60. So more than that. Yeah, 63. 63 bucks to spend. So we'll put our income at 63. And now we roll for a few different things. So first of all, we have our Spanish dudes to roll for recruitment roll, which we succeed. We're going to go ahead and put an infantry over here. We get to roll twice here for the Vichy, one for last turn, one for this turn. And it would be a roll of 1 is the only thing that we succeed on, so pretty minimal chances there. And then lastly, we have to roll for the Finns, and they only have 1 territory. And they missed on that one as well. So yeah, we got 1 recruitment, everything else missed. And now we have our technology dice. Improved construction. You know what? We succeeded in everything. Advanced mechanized, improved construction, advanced artillery, and advanced subs. So advanced mechanized, advanced artillery, improved construction, and advanced subs. Really good. Really good. I can't complain about that at all. All right. Pretty successful turn altogether. I think not too many issues. 10-6-4. Sorry, guys. Should have studied this beforehand. Port attacks. Seaplanes, tactical bombers, bombing of enemy ships in port. 1 round only. Eligible fighters. Yeah. I think we'll just leave it at that. Leave it at that and see what turns up, because we get our fighters to respond first. Fighters respond first. Subsequently, we would have his tactical bomber and medium bomber, but our AA can potentially fire back as well. You know what? We're going to send another fighter in there, just to really nip it in the bud, any of his ambitions. So that's 3 fighters there, and up north, we have 2 tacticals and 2 fighters there. I do believe that'll about do it for us. Okay. All right, gentlemen, that is it and everything, and nothing else to add really. Uh, yep, that's it. Okay, guys, thanks all for watching. Talk to you later. Cheers.